where do things stand on property tax relief, and how soon do we think we might get some type of answer on what that's going to look like this session?
Well, bottom line, Eric, to your question, nobody really knows where this thing stands right now. It's clearly up in the air in Lincoln. What we do know is this: key to the governor's plan to cut property taxes by 40%, and that seems less and less likely as we go. Could it be 30? Could it be 25? No, this is really in flux. But key to his plan to cut property taxes is a 1 cent increase in the state sales tax, going from 5.5% to 6.5%. And that would put Nebraska among the highest top 9 states in the country for state sales taxes. If nothing else, in this whole debate, the governor has accomplished one thing, Eric. He's brought sides together that have never been brought together before. You've got Open Sky, the left-leaning think tank, saying this is a bad deal because it's going to hurt the little guy, the poor guy, paying a higher sales tax. You've got the Plaid Institute on the right opposed to it. You've got Americans for Prosperity on the right opposed to the sales tax increase as well. So, as I said, if nothing else, the governor has managed to bring together sides that we've never seen on the same side of anything before. And as far as time goes, state sales tax debate could begin as early as late today. It's probably going to take a couple of days before they finalize a vote on that. So expect something on that maybe this week, maybe early next week.
And that's just it. This is a huge, nuanced debate that needs to be had in the legislature, which would take long enough as is without distractions. And there are distractions, namely a hearing regarding Senator Steve Halloran and comments that he made on the legislative floor last week.
I kneel before him, Senator Kavanaugh. That's language that should not be in front of children.
You don't know anything about anyone else's life. And I can tell you that women in this body have been subject to sexual violence.
Michaela Kavanaugh has now filed a complaint, in effect, against Senator Halloran, demanding a hearing. She wants him censured by the full legislature. That hearing is now scheduled for late tomorrow afternoon before the legislature's executive board. And for those who don't know, that's kind of the legislature's in-house policing operation. It's made up of some of the longer-serving state senators and folks who sort of been around this train a couple of times in the past. And so what's interesting about the hearing, though, Eric, is it's a public hearing, but Joe Q. Public can't show up and testify. The testimony is invitation only. And what tells me and others is you're probably going to hear from Senators Michaela Kavanaugh, John Kavanaugh, since they were named on the floor by Senator Halloran. Actually, he says he didn't name both, just one. It gets a little cloudy at that point. But he has apologized. But his apology has rung hollow for many in this deal. But again, I'm presuming that he'll testify at the hearing along with the one or two state Senator Kavanaugh's, maybe someone else, but it's probably going to be a relatively compacted hearing. And then that committee would decide whether to send this issue to the floor of the legislature for a possible censure vote against Senator Halloran, which presumably wouldn't come until sometime next week at the earliest.
But just one more cog in the wheel as the governor again waits to see if his major tax plan will get passed in some form. Just nothing running smoothly as we get to the last few days of the legislature. Joe Jordan, thank you so much for joining us and shedding light on this today.
Thank you, Eric. Take care.